This video will demonstrate how to use SpecView's Color Dynamics feature. Having one or more objects on the screen change color when some condition in the process is met is a very common SCADA feature. Here is a simple example. This process has a temperature soak and we want a valve to turn green when it starts. Open the variables list. This Boolean variable turns to start at the beginning of the step. We'll add that to the screen. Next, put a valve symbol on the screen. We have one saved in our symbol library. Select the valve and go to the Edit menu, Color Dynamics. Notice that Ctrl Y is the hotkey sequence to bring up the Color Dynamics box. Choose the color that you want the valve to turn. This is the variable that will trigger the change. Our soak Boolean, the test equal to set value start. So when this variable turns to this state, it will turn green. If you want the outline to change color as well, check that box there. Let's see how this looks. Save our screen, go into Runtime, switch to the window we want, turn the Boolean from end to start, and the valve turns green. You can have more than one event trigger a color change. Perhaps we want this valve to turn red if the temperature goes over, say, 400. Let's go back to Edit mode, open the variables list, and we'll use this number for testing purposes. Select the valve, Edit menu, Color Dynamics, and we'll put a check mark here to add the second color dynamic. Choose the color, red. The variable is going to be test number. This time greater than, set the value 400. Click OK. Let's see how that looks. Save, run. We still have our green set up. Now we'll change this number to 399, 400, 401, and it turns red. These extra conditions function in an OR way. That is to say, any of them can cause the color change. So either soak being on or the value being over 400 will cause the color change. If both conditions are met, as they are here, the one farthest down the list will take priority. If this goes back down, we get back to green. If this turns off, if this goes above 400, the red happens. If this turns back on, it is ignored because the number being over 400 was further down the list. Now we will demonstrate another use for color dynamics. Here is a very typical ramp soak programmer table. We are using event outputs in each of the segments. As you can see, it is quite hard to tell which events are on and which are off. We have an expression in SpecView we call WIBNI. When users ask for features, they often start with, "Wouldn't it be nice if?" Here we have, "Wouldn't it be nice if the ones turned on were in green and the ones turned off in blue?" Go into Edit mode. This table uses highlight boxes as a background. We first need to move that out of the way. Note, it is always a good idea to have any background graphics grouped together so that moving them out of the way is easy. Now we select the event outputs. Edit, Color Dynamics. Notice that SpecView has guessed that we probably want to do something based on the value that is associated with the object. This is what by the value means. So in this case, we do not have to tell SpecView which variable we want. We want the text to turn green when the value is on. Select the color. We do not need to choose the variable, that's already done for us. The test is equal to set value on. We also want it to turn blue when they're off. So we put the check mark here to add a second color dynamic. Check mark by use value. Select the color blue. Equal to set value off. That's all we have to do. Click OK. Close the variables list. Move our table back into position. Save and go into runtime. You can see now that it is much easier to tell which variables are on and off. We have a recipe that switches between the different settings, and you can see that it is much easier to review what your recipe actually is. This will eliminate many mistakes.